Welcome all in the course of microbiology. Today we will discuss about biopesticides. Let me share the screen first. Okay, I hope it is visible. Yeah. So, what are biopesticides? These are nothing but the formulations of bios, life, like fungi, bacteria, or sometimes viruses. Their formulations used to kill the pests. Pest means any harmful insect or kind of disease that affects the plants, crops. In nature is termed as pest. So basically, biopesticide is the formulations of living organism, living, or we can say living microorganism used to kill the pest or reduce or control the pest population is termed as biopesticide. Today, the use of biopesticide is increasing because the traditional pesticides, like chemical pesticides, which have residual effects in nature, that is why the use of biopesticide is increased. So where intensive use of biopesticide or pesticides in agriculture is a cause of serious concern. The problem is especially serious because of the development of resistance to pesticide in imported pest and presence of pesticide residue in agriculture and dairy products. Dairy products, the agricultural and the agricultural residue is because the use of chemicals extensively leads to its residual effects, which used to transferred over the to dairy products to animals that let's suppose the grass is fed by the dairy animal, suppose cattle, then it will show the residual its effect through its milk or other dairy products. That is why this poses a serious effect. And in India, most serious problem of resistance is witnessed in cotton and in paddy also, especially in cotton. The American bollworm is a very serious pest. The bollworm was developed resistance to almost all the pesticides. In serious problem in many states. Other important pests of cotton are whitefly and jessid also have developed pesticide resistance in some places of MP as well as in Punjab region. Growing pesticide resistance meant that large proportion of agricultural production is lost to the pests. Pesticide resistance mainly imposed due to excessive and indiscriminate use of the pesticides, which are commonly sold in small town and villages due to the lack of knowledge. Farmers used to replicate these pesticides, whether it's of use or sometimes no use. So these factors leads to resistance development. Now next, excessive use of chemical in pesticides in agriculture is a serious cause of concern. It is because that important alternative environmentally friendly methods of plant protection are adopted, such as IPM techniques, including the use of biopesticides. Biopesticides are an important group of pesticides that can reduce pesticide risks. They are derived from animal, plant, and microorganisms, such as bacteria, viruses, fungi. So here comes the advantages of biopesticides. Why we use the biopesticides? What are their uses? So they are inherently less harmful than chemical pesticides. In general, they have a narrow target range and very specific mode of action. They are often effective in small quantities. Also, they decompose quickly and do not leave the problematic residual effects. It means the biopesticides are very specific. Suppose the biopesticide is made for an American goldworm pest, then it only affects that pest only, and that too in a very specific way. Now, they are safer to humans and environmental than conventional pesticides. They are much safer than the usual chemical pesticides. Okay. Then biopesticide is a broad term and includes bioinsecticides, biofungicides, bioherbicides, and as well the bionematicides. Microorganisms belonging to different groups like bacteria, fungi, and viruses are used as biopesticides. So here the bacterial, we are discussing the bacterial belonging to the genus Bacillus are potent against many insect pests. They suppress pests by producing a toxin specific to the pest. As earlier we discussed, that biopesticides are very specific and their mode of action is very, very specific. Then causing a disease, preventing establishment of other microbes, competition, all modes of the action. An example of bacterial pesticide, I guess it's more known. Bacillus thuringiensis. Everybody is much aware in the science world about the Bacillus thuringiensis. Or BT, in short, we call BT. So, Bacillus thuringiensis is naturally occurring soil bacteria that is toxic to the larvae of several insects, but not toxic to the target organism. It shows its specific action. So basically, bacteria attack hair as digestive tract over the gut of insects. It's more of action like the infected, or we can say the biopesticide spread over the plant, the, over the bolls of cotton bolls. Whenever the insect come and feed over the infected bolls or the cotton plant, that ultimately the food goes into its gut and they ultimately died. Here it shows the formulation that is available in market that we use to control the insects through environmental-friendly methods. Then here it shows the use of neem plant as an biopesticide. As we all know, the neem has many antibiotic properties. As in the diagram, it shows itself like bark, seed, oil, flowers, leaves, all are used as a remedy itself. And here, when fertilizer pesticide, it has antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, anti-infertility, immunomodulatory effects. Then pesticide has another anti-ulcer, hepatoprotective, antimicrobial, anti-cancer properties also. So neem product here in this picture shows an experiment that shows the fungal growth of sclerotinia and the effect of neem formulation to neem extract. See here on this colony, or we can say fungal colony, the population of the sclerotinia is very high, and we see in another place the comparatively the colony growth is low because of the anti-cancerous, or we can say anti-biotic property of a neem that can reduce the spores. That is why it is used as a disease control or pest repellent in the crops. So neem plant also an effective potential botanical to manage the pests. And next we go to the fungal portion. So Bavaria is a naturally occurring fungus in soils throughout the world. Has been researched for control of soil-borne insects. Many soil insects, however, may have a natural tolerance to this pathogen, which is not exhibited in many foliar pests. Therefore, commercial development of this fungus for biological control has primarily been targeted against foliar feeding pests. So, Bavaria is a fungus that also used in the formulations is the naturally antifungal properties it have, meaning that it controls or checks the growth of other fungus or the insects. Bavaria bassiana causes a disease known as white muscardine disease. In insects, Bavaria belongs to fungal subdivision, as we know, Dichromycotina and hyphomycetes. It has a simple lifestyle with no sexual stage. Means the sexual stage is lacking in Bavaria bassiana. And the asexual spores of the Bavaria are called as Polidia. Many strains of Bavaria bassiana are used as biopesticides because it infects the pests, insects, so that their growth is inhibited. And once they are infected with the Bavaria spores that are called Canidia, they get infected and ultimately they die in within a week. So ultimately, it controls the population of the pest, insect pest, and its formulations are very, very useful as a biopesticide to control the insect pest. It is active agent against adult and larvae of many kinds of insects and egg leptoparent pest as well. The spectrum also includes whiteflies, bugs, grasshoppers, and mites, and others. Here it shows in the picture the insect is infected with the Bavaria bassiana spores. And see the condition. Once the spores enter in the insect body through contact, it will lead to spread, and such cottony growth happens. And within a week, these insects die, and as well the other insects come in their touch, also spread this spores on them. The whole colony disturbs with this. And see in this picture also, this is an initial phase where the Bavaria spores infected to an insect. Here it shows the formulations that are available in the market of Bavaria. These are from with the name Naturalis and the Green Bavaria. These are many these days because the more emphasis towards the eco-friendly or the natural farming is going on. So these are the really very important factors, key factors, I must say, of to achieve the goal of organic farming or eco-friendly environment. Then comes the insects. Insects are viral. Control of insects through viral formulations. So, as we know, the virus are the usually the vectors for the disease or anything they carry. So, in viral aspect, basically baculoviruses are the pathogens that attack insect and other arthropods. Like some human viruses, they are usually extreme small, less than the 1,000 millionth hectares. It means we can't see them through naked eyes. For them, we need some high power microscope to see the viruses. So, primarily, double stranded DNA, the codes of genus needed for virus establishment and the reproduction. Because this genetic material is easily destroyed by the exposure to the sunlight and by condition by in the host gut. An infective bacterial virus particle is also called as virion, is protected by protein coat that is polyhedron. Polyhedron is because it is a plural, polyhedron is called as polyhedron. Most insect baculoviruses must be eaten by the host to produce an infection that is typical fatal to the insect. Here it shows the insect is feeding a leaf or any vegetative portion of the plant that is infected by the virus, the target virus. Whenever it feeds through its uh, food channel, it enters to the gut where it infects its body metabolism and ultimately the insect will die. This is the main functioning of the viral formulations. Then comes biocontrol. As we know, for achieving biopesticides, so the biocontrol remedy is very, very useful. So biocontrol can be done by use of natural enemies to control the pests. Natural enemies for pests are categorized as parasites, predators, or the pathogens. It is a broad term and also includes the use of biopesticides. Microbes may contribute to the biological control of the pathogen. Most research and development efforts are focused on isolates of three genera, Bacillus, Trichoderma, and Pseudomonas. And among the fungi, the Trichoderma Holceinum and the Trichoderma viride are the most commonly used species for the control of pathogen. So we can say fungal pathogens like Pythium, Rhizoctomia, and the Verticillium, Sclerotium, Botrytis, and Alternaria also is a very effective control agents. So all these measures together can lead to the success of the biopesticides. Thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you all.